Hello, this is Pat Walker, Mission Winners. We're doing a video recap overview of the major index ETFs and the MAXLIST. Here's the spiders weekly. Weekly on the left, daily on the right. Notice the distribution here on the daily, serious selling. Just right at the 50-day, we want to see that continue. Notice on the weekly, selling. I'm not looking at the diamonds at 30 stock. SSO, the leveraged one, selling volume here, selling volume on these two bars. Selling volume on the weekly. Okay, the trend is still up, but there is some selling volume that came into it. Just something to be aware of. QQQ, look at this, NASDAQ 100, below the 50-day. Ready for this? Right at the 50-day, below the 50-day, and it has been below the 50-day. Look at the weekly, look at that selling volume. What does that tell us? There's some rotation going on. They're not going after the NASDAQ, the big NASDAQ stocks. QLD, similar situation. Look at that selling volume on the weekly. That's serious. Am I saying the trend is over? No, I don't know the future. All I'm saying is this past week, there was serious selling. That's it. Serious selling on volume. All right? Something to be aware of. Will it continue? You know what's great? We don't need a forecast. We let the price and volume action tell us what to do. But there was selling volume, heavy selling volume on many big stocks. IWM, right here, selling volume there. Now look, notice this. Below the 50-day. Check it out. Above the 50-day. Small caps. More of a risk-on environment. Good to know. TNA, the leveraged one, same situation. So now what does that tell us? Well, small caps are doing a little bit better. Okay, good. Good for us. What are we going to do with that? Well, when we're looking for stocks, we've got to make sure we just don't look at the big NASDAQ stocks. Look at some small caps too. We go where the money's treated best. And you don't need to forecast. That's what it's telling you. Just get in line with it. Here we go. Apple. Yeah, this is a pretty big stock, I think, the last time I checked. Way below the 50-day, and the 50-day is starting to roll over a little bit. Look at this. Look at it selling here. Look at that Friday. You say, oh, it's a green bar. This is what we teach. Note this bar. How did it close on that bar? What's that closing hash mark? That sucker closed right almost at its lows for the day on a pickup in volume. Look at the weekly. Selling. Let's continue onward. Amazon. Losing here, right at support. Heavier volume, bounced back a little bit on the daily, but serious selling coming into it, loose chart. Always ask yourself, would I see this chart in any chart book saying this is something to buy? No, not really. Could this bounce? Yes. Oh, sure it could. It's a MAXLIST stock. It's Amazon. Why are these stocks on this list? I will tell you. These are the big names that the institutions have to own or their managers will be fired. Okay, that's the bottom line. So could this lift through here and get a rally towards the 50-day in a good market? Yeah, sure. But remember, this is a more aggressive setup. Continue onwards. Alibaba, just chopping around here and the 50-day's falling. Note this, the 50-day is just starting to fall. Alibaba, the 50-day has been falling. We have nothing to do with it here, okay? Just leave it alone for right now. Baidu, this was nice for us. We owned this right here, Keylista, and ran it up. And guess what we did? Selling into strength helped us. Okay, the 80 points on some of it, and that's good. It's still, the trend is still up, okay? But there's some selling volume here, and it's pointed out in the weekly. Look at that. What does that tell us? It needs to get a good bounce on good volume in a good market off the rising 21 EMA, or if not, leave it alone. That's simple. And again, we bought this right in here, and it was a good gain. Move on. Facebook. Yeah, I guess we should post some stuff on Facebook because it ain't doing nothing. But that doesn't mean it won't eventually. Just right now, it's choppy. There's nothing happening there. Google's fairly strong. Look at this. This baby's still on right above the rising 21 EMA, and it's above the rising 50-day. Could this get a bounce? Yeah, I think it could. I've got a price alert set on it. All right? Picture this. The market's gotten really sloppy, and this stock's hanging in. If the market strengthens, strong possibility this will strengthen too. Am I forecasting there? No, I'm just looking at strength and saying, hey, the strong stay strong and the weak stay weak. Maybe it'll get a bounce. But will it? A, I don't know. And B, I'll be ready though if it does. That's all. Note the price alert. Bouncing off the rising 21 EMA. And look at this chart. See this right here? Looks pretty good up there, doesn't it? Watch this. That doesn't look so good. That looks better, but that's a bearish engulfing bar. Okay, this looks bad. That looks okay. Apple, not as good. There you go. And in a matter of seconds, you see the strength. Isn't that awesome? Love it. Goldman Sachs, fairly strong. Pulls back here to the rising ADMA. Bit of a tail bar here on the weekly. It's been decent stock, okay? Bank stock. Is there a clean entry here? Bouncing off the ADMA, maybe. Netflix chopping around. Could this, but it's strong in relation to other stocks. MAXLIST stock. Could this take out these tops and rally off the 50-day? That's the green line. Yeah, it's something to watch. Continue onwards. NVIDIA had earnings. We managed this. We owned this, lifting up through here, and it was good. It was good that we were selling. You know, we're picking it up in here. It was good we sold, because if not, they had earnings. This is why we don't hold into earnings. You know what that's called? That's called a haircut. And if you saw my picture, you'd say, you don't need a haircut. Here you go. Square. All that, it's more than a rounding error. Okay, I'm sorry. It's a bad pun, but I had to say it. What did this? Earnings. We always know the earnings dates and mission winners. We know you have to. No surprises ever. It's below the 50-day. Leave it alone for now. Look at the weekly selling volume. Weekly, tough. Tesla. Tesla is still above. Here's the look. See this here? But look at Tesla. Still hanging in here now. This is a little bit below the 50-day. This is below the 50-day. But what do you see here? A higher low. And folks, it's Tesla. It's Tesla. What could be a potential entry? It is a higher low. This low is higher than this low. Taking this out. Would that be aggressive? Yes. And you can say, boy, Patrick, that's an ugly red bar. Here's a good lesson for everybody. I want you to note the open on this bar. I want you to note the low. And I want you to note the high and close. Where did this animal close? That closed near the highs. There's power there. There's power there. Now, what do you need though? I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm saying if it starts to lift off this higher low, there's potential. But to control risk, what do? This isn't clean and simple. What do? You go with less shares. Control risk. Move on. Twitter, lifting off. This gapped on earnings, okay? And it's going sideways. I'd love this if this went sideways a couple more days and then takes off. There you go. There's strength there. Visa. See these weekly tops? And again, this is a weekly on the left. Note the price alert. See the volume on that bar? Weekly volume pickup. How did it close on the weekly? Just okay. The best thing this could do is go sideways a couple more days and then take off. Next one, MasterCard. Look at how MasterCard rallied up and backed off. Gosh, I wonder why. Well, we explained this to the VIPs as it was happening. Look at the old tops. Ran up. This is weekly. It comes right back up to the old highs and backs off. Why do you think that is? Well, do you think, reason through this. Do you think there were people that bought this stock up here at around 366 and watched that thing fall all the way down to under 300? And what happened? It rallied and came back up. And once it got near their cost, what did they say? I'm so grateful, I'm selling. And they did. That's what forms double tops. We always analyze and explain why it does what it does. Now you have that knowledge base and there's power there. Rallied right up. What would be the best thing this could do, team? Think about this. Form a little handle for a couple of days, get rid of the last of the sellers, and then push through the top of here. And what do you have? Surprise, surprise, Gomer Pyle, you got yourself a cup and a handle. That's why the cup and a handle is such a valuable pattern from a psychological perspective. Can get rid of the last of the sellers and take off. And Microsoft, I just put this on here because this gap down on the weekly, it's just chopping around. Maybe it'll get a lift off the 50-day with volume. Anyway, in less than 10 minutes, you've got a great overview of the big name stocks and what they're doing, and you have a plan.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.